Hello guys, welcome to another video. So today will be a bit different. I'll be talking about how I actually work around an ACL tear. So for those of you who don't know, I currently have an ACL tear on my right knee, just over here. And it's been like this for about 3 months, a full tear. So just a bit of backstory. I actually was playing football for my semi-pro team in May last year. So what happened was that we were having a friendly and I actually experienced a tackle. So basically, my knee was right in front. I was trying to tackle the ball, and what happened was that the opponent actually banged my knee from the back, and I landed my knee, and straight away there was a pop on my knee. So I knew for a fact that something is wrong. So something had gone, and sadly it was my ACL, but it was only a partial tear. When I went to the doctor to check up on it, it was actually a high grade tear. So basically, they are saying that there's it's like a probably like if an easy way to say it is like there is about maybe 70% of my ACL has been torn. So it was my ACL was just like that, very little left that was being attached. The doctor did not recommend surgery. He said you just go ahead with rehab, and I did. So what happened was that from May I did rehab all the way until December. So what happened was that in December I actually pushed myself too much during the rehab, and what happened was that it snapped one more time. At first I was thinking that, oh, it's just a normal thing, because actually during my rehab process there are times where my knee actually gives way. I thought nothing of it. So what happened was that I actually started to realize that it started to buckle a lot easier and more often. So from there, I actually went back to my orthopedist and actually talked to him about it. And I was like, I feel the buckling actually happening more often than it should be, and it's giving way a lot more often than usual. So he checked and all that, and he said that it felt a bit looser compared to the previous time that he checked it when it was partially torn. And he said that let's do an MRI just to double check to see if it's gotten worse, but highly likely it has. That's what he said. So I was like, fine. We went to the MRI a week or two, if I'm not mistaken. After that, results came back. Doctor told me that, yep, uh, I fully torn my ACL. So that was back in January. So I partially torn it in May, fully torn it in December, got diagnosed for the fully torn ACL on January, and in May 18th, if I'm not mistaken, that is when I will be getting my ACL reconstruction surgery on my right knee. So I'm just gonna show you, or actually just tell you some things which I do to work around this ACL surgery, because it's not easy, especially mentally. So I will share you guys how I deal with it, and hope you guys enjoy this video. So first thing we're going to be talking about is, personally for me, I'm going to talk about the mental part of it first. So obviously for, be it me as a footballer or people like you guys as athletes, so be it playing basketball, track, or any form of sport, having an ACL tear is actually quite a big deal, and it can play a big factor in your mental state, because you won't be able to play your sport. You'll be quite restricted in terms of your movements as well. And first few months when I partially torn my ACL back in May last year, I was very stagnant. I did not move a lot because my knee was constantly swollen. And during the rehab, that was when I slowly, maybe 1 to 2 months in, that was when I started to do weight bearing. So I went to the gym, did some exercises such as leg extensions, hamstring curls with flexing of the knee, as well as doing some single leg unilateral work. Obviously, as an athlete, you get um, agitated because you can't play the sport the way you usually play it. So, as athletes, I think my advice to you guys is make sure you have people around you to actually help you, to encourage you, and to take care of you as well, because it's not going to be an easy thing. Because I had friends who had torn their ACL before. I talked to them and asked them how do they get through it. Some of them said mentally they were very sad, affected much, but they were very encouraging. And even my friends and family, I have to thank them, because they actually helped me throughout this time frame which I was struggling in. As an athlete, you have been playing the sport since young, or you've been working hard for the sport, and out of nowhere, just one game, unlucky game, you start you just stop playing, and mentally it will affect you because you will start to think, what can I do better? How could I have avoided the tackle? Maybe I should have done this, I should have done that. So mentally, I think you have to be very strong and make sure you have friends and family who are around you and keep yourself occupied, because there are a lot of things that you can do even when you are restricted with your movement when you have an ACL tear. So second thing we're going to be talking about is how I train. So definitely, um, when you injure your ACL, once the swelling has gone down and all that, it will be rehab, rehab, rehab all the way. So for me, I had a rehab coach who obviously always gave me exercises to do for rehab. You stick to it and don't make the same mistake as I did, because what I did was that I actually pushed myself. So I was going through the phase where we were focusing on absorption of impact. So that was when I actually injured myself. So make sure that you train properly and follow the exercises that has been given to your from your rehab coach, and try not to push yourself too much, because it will only lead to re-injury or even worsen of injury compared to actually making it better. Always be careful when you are doing your rehab, and make sure you follow the schedule and listen to your rehab coaches carefully. Third thing we're going to be talking about is training my stamina. With me, running has always been out of the picture because I didn't want to impact my knee, and I always felt that fear. Rehab coach told me that, if you do any form of cardio, be it battle ropes, or currently I'm doing my cardio on the bike, so that's how I keep up with my cardio part, my endurance part of the game, and obviously making sure that you work in the correct heart rate zones. So for those of you who don't know, there's different heart rate zones for aerobic, anaerobic systems and all that. So make sure you work in the correct zones, and you should be fine for stamina. Last thing I want to talk about is the sports side. For me, a footballer, I knew that my touch will start to disappear as time passes by. So what I would recommend, in which is what I do as well, is basically I do juggling drills or passing drills, very basic drills. Because so when I asked the rehab coach, can I uh, keep my touches and just juggle the ball where there's no change of direction and all that, and he said it was fine. So I would recommend that as well. So if you are like a footballer, it's always okay to dribble the ball a bit without quick changes of direction, juggling the ball. For a basketballer, you can do your basketball bouncing drills and all that. I'm not pretty sure, but actually, in a way, keep that mind running in terms of familiarizing yourself with the sport and making sure you're not totally out of it. Okay, guys, that's all I have for today. Again, I would just like to say that for any of y'all who are going through a ACL injury right now, be it you just did your surgery or you just torn your ACL, just remember that it's not going to be an easy road, but mentally and physically you'll get there, because every downfall has its upside. So when you're down, the only way is up. So guys, remember, you'll get through it. And actually, I'll make a video on how my surgery or any other ACL related videos or even sports related videos that I have, I'll keep it posted. And if you guys want me to post you have any questions, just drop it in the comment section. All that I have said is based on my experience. It's not any form of uh, professional advice or instructions. It's just my experience, and I'm just sharing my experience to you guys. So other than that, take care. I'll see you again in the next video.